Yo, can you hear me now? I can hear you guys. All right, sweet. I can hear you guys now. Yep. We're all good. The problem was on my side. It was on my side. It was on my side. Coming through loud and clear.
Women, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive. Go out and see what you can find.
I can hear you guys right now. I can't hear any music,
If a
but I can hear you
daddy's
guys.
rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, do a turn or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. When I grab people, when I dirty, when I mean, we love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go sailing in the sea. We're always happy, lives we're living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee 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 dee, da 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 da, yeah, we're happy, da da da, dee da da dee da 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 da.
This is what I call Friday. This is a Friday fucking night. Go by Mark. You don't. I don't care.
You can toss this for me. Empty.
You're up. Go ahead.
We're on.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back to season 2, episode 6 of the Wolf and Klein show, where we are the elite podcast of the NHL Online 95 world. Fact-based, non-repetitive, authentic, and genuine. For all those things, let's welcome back this week's guest. The second time he's with us. It's great to have him. With the owner and the GM of the Renfrew Cream Kings of the W and the Easter Island Stoneheads of the Q. Welcome back, LHX.
Mark, what's going on, man? We're
What's
happy.
up, homies?
We're happy to have you
Doing
back,
good.
man.
It's great to have you back. I mean,
I've been looking forward to this all week, man. This is what I call Friday night here, boys.
All right, man. Can you turn? Is there any way you can get a little more sound, a little more volume?
Yeah, maybe.
and turn on our side. Is that
Okay.
Let
There's
me
everybody's
see
saying it
what I
sounds
can-
great. So everybody's saying it sounds great.
Okay.
Okay.
It sounds great.
Let-
Yeah.
I should get the Twitch rolling here, right?
Yeah. That's go. You want to watch on the Twitch stream because I'm gonna be mixing in a bunch of new features that we have here. So,
Sweet.
before we get rolling, I just want to say it's been a couple weeks since we did this, and we want to appreciate how forward everybody looks forward to doing this. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people put a lot of effort into playing their games so that we could do some kind of annual show like this. I think we're going to try to build this show into the schedule from the beginning with Magnus. We'll just ask him if he can end the day, pick a day so we know that Friday we want to be able to do the wrap up and playoff show. We just got to coordinate it better, and I think we won't have to put so much pressure on people. As much as I hate putting pressure on people, I really don't.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
So we want to,
You gotta do what
Again.
you gotta do, man.
welcoming you back, and just quick update on you, man. So tell us, how's the family? Tell us about.
Hold on a second. Sean did say you're a little quiet. If you could turn it up a little bit, if you have that opportunity, so you can see it too. Do you have your
Sure,
Twitch
yeah.
up too?
Let me check. So my mic seems to be maxed out. So maybe I could just try to speak a little bit louder. Hopefully,
Well, let's just
it comes
ask him.
through.
Do you guys want him to speak
But,
louder? Can you hear him or what?
Am I coming through? I got the chat up.
Yeah.
He's saying lean
Closer
closer. Sean said lean
My
closer.
headphones, my mic's in my ears. Man. I can't even need to like speak in my ear or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay. Just a bit quiet. I'll try to be a bit louder.
Okay.
All
All right.
But,
Not so
I
mild.
don't know.
Get a little excited, man. We were juiced up about this. I know you were too. Get fucking excited. Let's fucking go.
If it's too much, you guys let me know. Yeah, maybe I just don't talk as loud. Plus, I
No,
gotta
no, that's all right.
sleep, you know. So, all right.
Yeah. So tell us about you.
Yeah.
Give us an update. You said.
Things are cool, man. Things are cool. Kids are growing up. Work days are coming out. This week was a little bit strange. I had a couple of days off, and it was very much. This whole past week has been very much NHL '95 focused. So it was weird, kind of shifting gears for a couple of days of work at the end of the week. But yeah, man. All in all, things are cool, man. You guys know what it's like, man. Kids' life is like the weeks are just a blur. You know what I'm saying? So
No doubt.
all good, man. All good. No major complaints going on over here.
Yeah, can I touch on what you just said right there? Because what happened last night in that playoff series with Autobahn was really cool. We know we started it at a tenuous time in between that 7 and 9 o'clock hour, and it ended up going 7. I thought it was going to be over. I never thought it was going to go 7 games. And then he was cool enough to be like, all right, well, he's all right with me just pausing where we were at and then restarting. So I totally appreciate Autobahn being that way. And that's another thing, a part of this league, man, where guys can work together. He didn't get pissed at me. I didn't fucking... I wanted to get the games in. That was the thing, is I wanted to get the games in. I was glad we could get them in last night. So I appreciate Autobahn doing that.
Yeah, and just a quick congrats to you
Nice, man.
for the win in the queue. We battled there in 6, and that was fun.
Man, that was a hell of a series, man. That was a hell of a series. I don't know, like I think the only shitty part, I was kind of feel bad. I do feel it was a bit tainted, so I didn't like it. Anytime when there's a series where there's some like connection issues, it's always a bit shitty because I don't know, Wolfie. I felt like you had some momentum there, and then we had to switch hosts and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a hell of a series, man. I don't know, like. You were talking up so much Bullard, and I'm like, how the fuck is this guy good? But like, the guy's just like, every time a puck went in the net against me, it was Bullard.
Yeah, but that's all he's got.
I don't know, man.
That's the only problem. That's all he's got. So he needs to build. He needs another piece. Bullard's good. So how long is Bullard? Another 10 years in the league?
He's in for a long time, but his numbers go down next year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, but anyway.
I mean, the thing is though, is that like, it's really hard to tell why he's that good when you look at his like numbers and stuff.
But what's
like,
his accuracy? His accuracy's
they
got
don't stand out.
Yeah.
It's like 5 or something like that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm saying his
like,
accuracy, because that's those guys in the one-timer slot that are 5 accuracy, like, that's money. That's money. You know what I mean? That's McGillney, that's Bure, that's those guys in the slot that are 5. If you can hook them up with and feed those guys, that was my problem with Yzerman. He was a 3. He's a fucking 3. Like, that's frustrating as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you got to...
talking about in the W.
No, in the W. I'm talking about the W, yeah. But even still, like, even Autobahn playing with Yzerman now, his numbers he was only 76, and you saw how he dominated me. I don't know if you saw, Mark, the first 3 games of that series, he beat I couldn't stop Yzerman. He beat the shit out of me.
Yeah. So we'll come back to the Q.
Yeah, I mean, but that being said, though, I don't know, like maybe you guys want to talk about this later, but it's one of those weird things where like it doesn't seem like all stats are equivalent. It's like there's something with combinations of things, because the same thing, like I mean, well, you know, I know you guys want to chat about the Waterloo piece in a bit as well, but I mean, I'll tell you, right? Like I mean, like Bork on Boston's like a 5 accuracy as well. And he was not a Bullard lights out for me in that tournament, man. So, yeah, we can chat about that later, though.
Well, why don't we go? I mean, so you got no other highlights with us about Troy? You got anything with the kids? Everything's good. Everybody's happy. We're good.
Yeah, man. Troy's at the point like he's just yapping his mouth off, trying to repeat all the words he hears other people say. I don't know. He's a bit of a weird kid because I don't know. Most kids, they always say no to everything. Troy says yes to everything. He's the most agreeable
Nice.
kiddo. It's kind of funny. But yeah, man, he's growing up. My daughter just all about the Disney movies, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I've got like Disney soundtracks permanently etched into my brain right now. But yeah, man, it's all going good. It's all going good.
Awesome, man. Well, so we knew we were going to give you like an open floor here. So we have not played in an outside tournament. I mean, outside of high. So we really just want to give you the floor, and you just can just give us. The dogs will shut the fuck up. If you really just give us your experience at Waterloo. So go through your arrival, all that stuff, how long it takes you to get you. Go give us all the details. Give us everything. Just go through it.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I mean, I guess like the one piece I can compare it to is the tournament that went down in Toronto back last October. Definitely, like, I mean, that one was cool. I mean, I think a lot of people's feedback is that it felt it felt like. I mean, it felt like you were going to a venue. It felt like like a I don't know, it's like a professional thing. Like, it was just like it was had definitely a layer of polish, which is cool. This one definitely had a pretty dope grassroots feel, I guess you could say. For me, like my degenerate self, I don't even have a driver's license, so I needed a lift down there. So our boy Ulster Magnus came by, picked me up early on the Sunday morning,
Nice.
hooked me up, gave me a lift down. Actually, the peeps in this league are cool as hell. Nate offered me to get me down there. Unholy offered to give me a lift down there. So like, I don't know, peeps are just awesome. But yeah, so me and Magnus headed down early on the Sunday. And so yeah, I guess like I can't remember the name of the dude whose place it was at, but awesome spot in Waterloo. I guess one of the things that was kind of cool and unique about this is like very family oriented day. So like a lot of folks there with their families and stuff. And again, like the Waterloo crew, I guess it's all part of their like normal spring summertime when a lot of those dudes get together. And so yeah, it was a good showing. Like it was really cool to have like the men's tournament and the women's tournament. The women's tournament was lit. Like I mean, like straight up, man. Like they were just like they were going nuts, man. It was like a party on that side of the bracket, which was pretty cool. But getting in there, very well organized. Like Moses like did a great job of getting everything together. Registration, shirts and everything ready, had the cameras out taking photos, all the brackets were up. I guess like we had the wheel the week before. I guess like that was new for them. For this tournament, they kind of like followed some of the high model for the team selection.
Yeah.
So for those aren't familiar, it was 18 people there. I guess like 10 people who weren't in the W. So those 10 people were on the wheel first, got their first picks, and the last 8 folks, we were on like a separate wheel. So they did their spin. Somehow I lucked out. Not that it made much of a difference, but I lucked out getting the first pick from all of us folks on the W. So by the time it got to me, I think it had the key teams I was like mulling over was. So I ended up taking Boston, but Dallas was still around at that point in time. Washington was around, Montreal was around. So
Boston's better than all of them. Boston's better than all of them.
I rolled with Boston. I guess partially actually because like I know Boston's done a good job at high. Well, I mean it was weird though in the warm ups. Like Unholy and I were playing a few before we had our team selection, and I never used Boston.
Did you play Kovartlov?
Like, was that?
Did you play Kovartlov?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was actually the most reliable guy, or at least like I would say he's the guy that did what I expected him to do. But yeah, so I had Boston, and then I was also kind of I guess like in a I guess like they were calling a tough bracket. I had Nate and another so Nate from the W League, and then one of the I guess like guys who had been one of the top Waterloo guys. Stefan was in the same bracket as well. Moses was in the bracket. So I was leading off the day against Nate, which was funny because like the week prior, like Nate smoked me in our W games, and like Nate also like knocked me into the losers bracket in the tournament in October. So like I was assuming I was gonna go in, and like when I looked at the schedule, I was like, okay, well Nate's a for sure loss in the round robin. But game one, I was able to kind of like squeeze it out against him. But then Moses and this Stefan dude just like demolished me. So I made it out of the round robin. And I mean, I don't know, man. It was just like a lot of really competitive games. Like I remember the Unholy and Red had some awesome games going. Colin was in their bracket. I guess I didn't get to see. I think GMDS and Magnus were in the same bracket. I didn't get a chance to see too much of those games. But yeah, round robin was cool. Again, it was just like really well organized. Everybody kind of knew how it was flowing. Went through the day. I got as far. I had to do a play-in to be in like the winners bracket of the tournament.
Okay.
I made it into that, and then I had a rematch against Moses, best 2 out of 3, to be able to proceed. And the guy smacked me down into the losers bracket, man. And then it was that's how it went. Moses had a very inspired.
When what was your previous experience against Moses in the W? What was your record against him? Would you feel?
Like, so I think in regular season I don't think I lost to him, but he did have that same playoff when he knocked out Raph. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
That was like
who did he play with? Who was Moses' team?
His team was Grand River.
No. I know that. I'm saying, who did he play with?
In the thing, he was using Toronto.
Oh, okay. Well, Toronto's a good team.
He was using Toronto.
Team. Like I said, Dave Ellett. Dave Ellett's a really good player.
We had a 2 out of 3, and he just like smashed the shit out of me again, man. Like 4-0 and 4-1 or something like that.
Oh wow! And it's all 5-minute periods, right? It's all 5 minutes.
I got to admit, like we know the dude. We know the dude can play. Like in the playoff series that we had, like it went 7 games. I pulled it out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I got to admit, I kind of went into it thinking that I'd be able to make it by, and then I was eyeing. I think my next matchup would have been against Ultra Magnus to go to like the semifinals. But yeah, Moses like smashed me down into the loser bracket. Then I had to play. If you guys remember, Elkel used to be in the W.
Yep.
I had to play him. He was using Vancouver. Was able to make it by him. And then I was in the loser bracket. I had to play Colin in the next round. He was with Tampa. He took me game 1, and then game 2, I had a 2-0 lead, and came back, tied it up, and like I don't know, man, that guy's still able to score goals I don't see other people.
Well, he had Klima, man,
like,
and he had Klima too, man.
Yeah.
So
he had Klima. I actually still remember the game tying goal was like a face off in my end. And he won the face-off, like, it wasn't even an intimidating way, but he just pulled this, like, short-range one-timer and, like, plugged it in. I was just like, fuck. Well, first of all, I wouldn't have even made that pass because it didn't seem like there was any room for the pass to be made. But he one-timed it in, took it to OT, and then that was curtains for me at the tournament, man. The guy's so magician. But, yeah, I think then Moses knocked him out, and then it was Moses and King Bell in the final, and Belly took it home.
So you've played in a couple of in-person tournaments now, and they're pretty fun. What's your plans for future in-person tournaments?
They're great. I mean, also, like, I gotta say, the variety's cool. Like, I do love the format of being able to roll with, like, one particular team throughout. But I have to say, I think I mentioned this before, and I definitely mentioned them on the Discord before, but, like, the format that they use for the tournaments in October is just like it's really clever. Like it's like there's just something super fair about it. The whole idea where like one person gets to pick the 2 teams that are going to play, and the other person has to pick from those 2 teams that were selected which team they're going to use. I can't remember whether they end up being home or away, but that's pretty cool, man. Like one person gets to pick the teams that get selected from. So it's kind of like, you know, you end up, like, if you're the one that has to pick the 2 teams, you're kind of eyeing down, like, okay, I'm going to get one of these 2 teams, and I'm going to have to face the other one, so it's kind of like a blend of, you know, it kind of has you thinking on level.
Definitely.
So,
I like that for a rando, like a rando tournament, but, like, I like playing with a team and gelling with a team.
Yeah.
That's all. That's why mine's
Love
the
that
way
too.
it is.
Love that
Ours
too.
is the way it
Totally.
is.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, I
Yeah.
fucking hate Boston.
Yeah, what, dude?
After that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I played with Washington. And it's, dude, I knew as soon as I got them, but I still made it to the Final Four. But it's like, dude, when I played JP, I didn't stand a chance. I don't even know how I was up 7-1 against Puss, and then he came back and beat me 8-7.
Yeah.
Washington has their defense isn't good enough, and their goaltending.
We we were just talking like when we were talking about Bullard, right? So like I mean, here's the thing, like so like similar thing for me, like because like one of the things like the last 2 seasons, Wolfie, ever since you and I made that deal, ended up with McInnes, right?
Yeah.
So like doing a different type of like offense where you have a big shot on defense. Like I actually became accustomed to that, and that was part of my consideration when I took Boston because Bork does have a five shot power. And accuracy, and so, but the thing is, like it's a weird thing. Like the guy would not hit the net during the tournament, right? Which is why, it's so interesting, like how it ends up with that dynamic. Like it just like that piece threw me off, and then the lack of upfront speed with Neely Oates and the other dude whose name I can't pronounce. It just it made it tough. I mean, again, like still, ending up in 6th and now 1, like I mean, it's not not something to celebrate, but I mean, it's, I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, super fun. And in terms of plans for future pieces, for future events, like honestly, man, like I was bummed that I missed I did try to kind of get my shit together to be able to make it down to February. So definitely want to be at that. I mean, honestly, like anytime permitting. I mean, if the tournaments come up, man, like I mean, this has become kind of like the life hobby. You know what I'm saying? So. Being able to make it to whatever tournaments I can make it to, I definitely would look to do that. So I mean, yeah, I guess like the short answer to the question, the plan is like all of them realistically, if I can, because they're super fun. They make for an awesome day, definitely. And then just like the crew of people, being able to meet all those folks, like honestly, like Unholy's the kind of guy where like. I feel like he's the kind of dude where if it's like a shit party, but he's there, it turns it into a good party. And that guy's just fucking hilarious, man. That guy was just dying multiple points. He was just a hilarious guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that one quote. I was just like, what do you say? I hate this game, but it's all I have. It's just like,
I love that guy, man. He was such a good time when we had him.
Yeah,
man.
he was for sure.
He's a great time. I hope he comes down. I really hope he comes down, man.
We'd love to see you all come for sure.
Yeah,
he's hilarious. I think he did Unholy, like Wolfie. Unholy does want to know if you're ever going to speak to him again after this week.
Listen, he's.
I know he felt pretty bad. I just, I know he wants to make sure. You got to send him a message, man. You got to let him know it's all good.
Oh, we chatted. All good.
Okay.
All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's super cool people. And Red with his kid, man. Oh my lord, hilarious dude, man. Like, just good people, man. Just good people. It's just like when he was schooling his boy about like the ethics behind the down B, I was dying.
That sounds awesome, man. It sounds awesome. I wish somebody had a camera out and was videoing this shit. It sounds awesome, man. I want to say that because Sean, Nate, Moses, they did a great job of you did a great job of capturing it. I think we got to get a little taste of it. I mean, nothing's like being there, but we at least got to see what was going on. It was great to see what we were able to see. We appreciate that.
Definitely. And Nate was great at like updating
the
score.
Definitely. Nate was paying attention to both, so I know how hard that is, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was trying to post updates every once in a while, but then I saw like Nate was like literally posting up the scores from every game. And I was like, holy shit! Like,
that was
bro's
cool.
on top of it all. Yeah, it was super cool.
And,
yeah, awesome event. Beautiful weather, beautiful venue.
Nice.
Really interesting to have the family dynamic there. Everything was super chill, and everybody's super cool, man. It was just a great day.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's like to have. Yeah, I can't even comment on having the other people there because the families there. I can't even imagine what that's like. I really can't.
High's a different. High's a different animal, you know. We focus on
Okay. Love you.
we focus on you know, the guy kind of day. We're thinking if the wives were there,
Yeah.
be distraction.
Well, I just know for me it'd be. I know. Like you saw what just happened right there. Like I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that? Did you see the cat?
No, I didn't see it. I saw you guys looking off screen.
Yeah. So I switched the camera view to see, so you can see on Twitch. But yeah, I mean, it's just a distraction, man. For me, just for me. I'm just speaking for me personally.
But also, what's
Well, I mean, to that point though, guys. Like, I mean, I think that's one of the beautiful things of the different tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah,
everyone has
everything's
their
got its own, man. It
like,
looked like a great time.
don't-
To me, it didn't
don't-
look like it affected anything. You guys all looked like you had a great time.
well,
So
I think part of it is the women were like playing.
yeah, the women. I mean, the women are experiencing it. They've had that women's tournament before, so it's different. Like my wife's not going to sit down and play
Exactly.
NHL.
Yeah.
She wants to fucking talk about shopping and shit. I don't need that.
Yeah.
But that's my wife again, so different.
All right, so let's kind of move on to this other part where we talk about.
Segment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say.
Our barn burner segment. This is called the barn burner segment. So go ahead.
So obviously some things have changed. We lost Tex, and we lost Comical Font this season, and kind of Bob Bond
Yeah.
for,
Wow.
for a very short period.
Yeah.
Um,
Whatever that was.
yeah, and listen, I think people have to drink because I just said, listen, but I think it's important that, you know, we get people in this league, and this brings us to the next point, that are looking to play some games,
Yes.
right? The pace of play, you know, I think Magnus talked about in future seasons trying to have it around 2 months. I don't know if it's going to be exactly 2 months, but that should be something that we shoot for, because clearly 3 months, for a lot of people, it was way too long, right? And for some people, because because the finish line was so far away, I think people just had no interest in playing for a while, which from some of us is a bit mind-boggling, that you would, you know, join a league to play games and then not be around for a long time.
Yes.
We've said it all before.
We have said it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you know that is one of the things that you know, I mean, I guess like it's a topic that's hard to avoid, but we chatted about that a bit on the weekend as well. We were all together. I mean, it's interesting because you know, I think like from Magnus's perspective, you know, like I mean, every season kind of has, you know, something experimental in it, and we have had issues with, you know, people kind of, you know, again like challenges with people kind of getting their games in towards the end of the season. So I think the experiment with this one is, if we did extend the season, would that help the issue? And I think the result of this experiment is no. I can't remember, like, what do they call that? Parkinson's law, where like any activity will stretch to fit the amount of time allocated to it.
Yeah.
I think, you know, some people mentioned that if we gave them 6 months, it would take 6 months. If we gave 2 months, it would take 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you guys are right. I mean, I think what we arrive at here is, you know, a 2 month season. I mean, I guess like the only other thing there is that like I mean, I don't know how many people. I mean, I guess like I think obviously like you guys and you know, myself and a few other folks, you know, took particular issue to the pacing, because, you know, jumping in and getting the season through is I mean, that's why we're in the queue as well, right? So, but I mean, I think, yeah, the results of this experiment is that, like, if we give 3 months, we're just gonna hit the same outcome. I think, like, the way things unfolded though, like in terms of how we you know, like simming the games, I think that was pretty reasonable to end up doing.
It's shitty though, man.
Contest.
It's shitty.
It
Look.
is.
I know. Again, nothing personal, but when we have the sim games, it's not a good thing. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It's not what we want. We want everybody to have to play and never have an advantage or a disadvantage. I mean, I think that's what's really important about this league, is we make sure that there's never an advantage and never a disadvantage. Everything has to be equal. So sim games cause disadvantages, which affect standings, and that's the last thing we want. Again, we are all really great. We all get along, but I still don't want stupid shit happening because people need sim games.
Yeah.
Sim games are the fucking ultimate sin. I've
So-
said it all along. They're a moral sin.
On that note, like one of the topics that came up, I think like last week at some point was the idea of like having a schedule. That, you know, like one of the things that I've kind of liked about, like I ended up being on the fence where I was like, yeah, you know, maybe that makes sense. But on the other hand, like one of the things that I thought was really cool about this is like, you know, there's just something kind of like free and easy about being able to be like, okay, I got a block of time right now. Let me hop on, see if anybody's on, see if I can pound out some games and then go to it. Personally, I mean, I think I've like moved towards liking that. The other thing about like trying to do a scheduling type of piece is that, like, you know, what happens if the connection shit that particular day? Are you going to penalize teams and then cause a rescheduling kind of situation? It just feels like I don't know if that's going to fly, right? So like it ends up being a truly like complex issue when you have like 32 people trying to coordinate this. So I mean, all things considered, it's possible that as a league we're actually doing pretty decent. The fact that there's just like a handful of folks that struggle towards the end because, I mean, you know, we all work and we all do things with other groups of people. Coordinating a group of 5 people is a fucking pain in the ass sometimes, right? Coordinating a group of 10 people is a pain in the ass. We're trying to coordinate 32 people to get something done in 2.5 or 3 months. Like, I mean, the fact that we run into these hiccups is super annoying, but like, it's quite possible, you know, on the other end of the spectrum, maybe we're actually doing okay with it.
Well,
you know?
look,
like,
I
we
think
are making it through the season.
Look, I think for me and him, and I know for me, I take it a little more personal because Dan's a part of us. So for High, he's fucking embarrassing. I mean, I don't know what else to say because he's so embarrassing that every year it's the same thing. It's the same thing. He's constantly the last one. So if you find yourself in a pattern where in the last weekend you can get all these games in, how come you can't adjust that throughout the season? So it's like at this point, it's ridiculous. And the pain and the whole thing is like you have some guys.
Your boy, man, it's your boy.
I know, and then that's what I'm saying. Like it pisses me off because it's like I have this guy next to me who's so hardcore into stats and wants to be like every week looking at him, and then you have a guy like Dan, and you know what? It's affecting me for the division right now for playing for my playoff spot this year because right now he's so far behind. Like everybody else is done and it's determined, and we still don't know, and it's affecting me because I don't know if I'm in or not, which is stupid. I don't really care, but it's like, come on, man, we've had 3 months to get all these games.
I mean,
in.
also, he's an enigma because we've seen like ever since that one season where he just like blew the doors off everything. We know what the dude's capable of when he has it. When he has it.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like that being what he's known for. I don't like that.
No,
play your games, dude. Just play them. Budget your time. If you can budget your time for the last weekend of the season every year, budget for the halfway point every year. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much better. Like, it's so much better when everybody follows the same structure, so we hit the same points. I know it's like Sean thinks it's insane for us to talk about this stuff because he's just whatever. He thinks we're nuts. But it's like,
well, I think Sean basically said we've never done it in 2 months, and maybe he's right. But I think if we shoot for 2 months and then it gets to 3, including playoffs, that's a different story.
yes,
right?
yes, I completely agree with that.
If we finish everything and we're at the 3-month period, that's different.
I completely agree with that.
But we should basically be trying to wrap up our season around the 2-month, the regular season.
I agree.
Right? If it extends to like, I don't know, the 9th week, that's okay. But we should all be looking to wrap up around.
It's true, man. I totally agree.
Anyway, thank goodness for the queue. You know.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Also,
one other thing I want to mention about this season, we lost some players. We gained Matty A back, and Tecmo John.
Major kudos to Tecmo John stepping in. Major kudos.
Also a very good player. I think Tecmo John's going to be learning this game quickly and he's going to be a force. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So I played him. I played him at the tournament in October. He played. He did play in the '95 pool, and him and I think we met twice. Both games were very low scoring and went deep into overtime. I think one game we cleared through the overtime like 1-1 or 0-0 and had to like start up a new game and finish it off in the playoff. Dude can play. Dude can play. He'll hit a cadence. I think he doesn't have the maybe the best roster right now, but he'll hit a cadence. If he sticks around, he'll be somebody to have to deal with for sure.
It certainly sounds like he's staying. I mean, for next season,
Look,
he's in.
I think for next season at least, yeah.
For these guys,
kudos to that. Props to him.
For these guys that aren't having success, I think what I've learned after 7 seasons that's very obvious to me is that if you're one of these teams who doesn't play consistently, you're not going to have a very good team. You also have to put the time in. Like, if you look at a guy like Derek, like DS, he put the time in. Like, he struggled his first couple seasons, but now he's playing great. So it's like, you have to build your team. Like this, I think JP, same thing with Pizzle.
The 5 or 6 seed in the playoffs, like that's some major shit.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly,
so,
dude.
Yeah, no, totally, man.
I think
totally.
people need to realize, like, especially those other the teams that aren't having success. You're not having success because you're not playing. You have to play in order to get your team and figure out your team. It's just part of the process. That's the way I see it, anyway. Like, that's why we're here, right? Aren't we here to figure out this team so that we can make moves and make the team better and that kind of stuff? If we're just here to plug the game in and turn it on and play with the standard team, why are we really here? This is a custom league.
Yeah. It's a custom league.
I mean, it's clear as day. I mean, and I mean, it pays dividends, man. Like, I mean, even like honestly, like Wolfie, like the amount that you played. Like, I mean, like I can't like. I think there was like a stretch there. I feel like when we started the league, we were on even terms, and I feel like I had the edge on you for a little while. But like you swept me the past 2 seasons, man. And then you know, like you knocked me out of the Q playoff, and then this year, man. Like, I mean, it was that playoff match was a tough. Like, I did not want to play you. I mean, if not being honest.
Stop.
Listen, my problem is what it is every year. I can play great, but then I can throw some clunkers in. It's inconsistency. That's all. That being said,
I mean, I actually had a similar discussion with Magnus on the way to the thing because like that's one thing that
wait, you and Magnus were talking about this guy? You guys were driving in a car together. We're talking about this guy?
Magnus and I were talking about him.
Okay. Oh, talking about Magnus. You're talking about Magnus. His favorite subject.
Magnus is Magnus is another player that I also struggle with. Like, Magnus knocked me out of the Q playoff last year. We had that one playoff that went to 7 games, and so when we were on the ride up, I'm like, who the fuck did you lose to? Like how were you not in the playoffs, man? Like, who did you lose to this season? And so 2 observations came from that, and so like similar to you, Wolf, like again, you swept me the past 2 seasons. And so, like, it ends up, like, perplexing me how you don't end up in the playoffs. And so a couple of the difference between the teams in the playoffs and not is actually, like, only, like, 3 or 4 wins. Yeah. Sometimes it's 1 win. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, if you...
Whatever it is, he finds it. Because every year, it's this fucking guy. I fucking really hope he fucking makes it this year, man.
Winter is coming.
I really hope.
Edge, man. He's on the edge. But yeah, no. I mean, the parity in the league is ridiculous, man. I mean, aside from like, I mean, who's up there? Sean, Puss, Nips.
Fuck Nips. Nips isn't up there. It's Puss. It's not Nips.
Nips missed it a few times.
No, but I'm saying like the teams that are clear ahead.
Oh,
because,
gotcha.
like, I mean, even if you take like, you know, so if Wolfie's at like what 88 or 89 right now, and then like teams that are comfortably in are at like 100 points, that's only 5 wins.
Yeah.
That's a 5-win difference. 5 wins is nothing. And so like that was the observation. Like when Mags was going through his schedule, and he's like, okay, took that loss. So I'm like, well, it's like shit. Like that's 5 wins. That's like nothing, man.
It is nothing.
Yeah,
but that's, dude. I know certain guys that if I don't get the points against, like I have a calculator in my head. Like, so I'm a baseball fan. Okay, so I was taught growing up that baseball, in Major League Baseball, it's such a long season, you break it into 3 sections, okay, because it's such a long season. So you break it up into thirds. So the first third are automatic losses. The second third are automatic wins. It's the last third that you do your damage in. So they're the games like for the Phillies, for us, where say in the 8th inning they're behind by 2 runs. It should be a loss, but they come back and they win. Those are the games that determine your season. So it's those games that if you're not killer or clutch in, they kill you at the end of the season.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think that's a good way of looking at it, man. I think that's totally a good way of looking at it. Because I mean, that's what ends up happening. So like, some of the tight wins that come out of it, man, like those can end up being the difference.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think this guy's learning it right here, right next to us. Sadly.
I mean, it blows my mind, man. Blows my mind.
Dude, I had him in.
Well, if I'm in your conference, if I'm in this guy's conference.
I still remember that one season. I think the last time I was on the show, we were doing a preseason prediction, and I picked Wolf like first overall because that's when we were doing the tiers. And when we
I would never make that mistake. I would never make that mistake.
Here's the truth. If I was in the soft Prince of Wales, I'm in.
Stop the cap!
Stop.
Whatever.
Don't even.
It's
Stop.
the truth.
Stop. You're lying. You're totally lying.
Why?
No, because you would have a worse record. It's just different. It's just different. It's different. Stop. I don't want to hear it. Why are we talking about this guy again? Why are we talking about him?
Let's move on to 5 holes.
Yes. Let's go on to the 5 hole. 5 hole. So this is another segment that we have. So this is 5 questions about the league, and we have the first couple questions are related. So go ahead. Ask the first question.
So, what's your opinion on what stats really mean in the W? Can we sift any information that matters from them? I have an opinion.
So we're talking like players. We're talking player stats and
Any
like just
statistic.
like
Any statistic that we're drawing. Any hard statistic.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like the individual player statistics. I feel like there's enough kind of like wackiness going around there to like it's hard to put too much stock in them. I don't know if I'm just saying that because I never have guys that are like up on the leaderboards and points or whatever, but like I like that's like very secondary or tertiary in nature. You know what I'm saying? So like those ones, I'm not. I guess like I don't know how much you can take from that. I think there's some impressive things there, like some things that maybe you can pull out. But in terms of, like what really means things, I guess like some of the stats. I guess like some of the things that we're talking about this week. I think some folks were talking about like some of the breakaway stats and those types of things. One of the things that caught me, I guess like going through the stats. What's interesting about it is like seeing where you rank and what surprises you. Like for me, I've always perpetually been near the bottom of the league in passing. And it kind of made me wondering like in passing, yeah, I always end up like my passing percentage always ends up extremely low. Okay. And I kind of wondered what the rationale for that is. Like maybe I don't pass too much, and you guys know like frequently a part of my offense is like flipping it into the zone. So I don't know whether that suits things at all. But at the same time, like I've definitely been in a number of games where I made passes that didn't connect, and I've just been like, what the fuck? Like why are these passes not connecting? So that was one. And also playoffs. Face-offs. This year I'm like I think like second or third last in face-offs, and I actually went back through the stats like in previous seasons. Every fucking season, the highest I've been in face-offs percentage one is 20th, except for one season I was in the top 10. The other 6 seasons, the highest I've been is 20th, and so it got me wondering like The fuck am I doing wrong in face-off?
So wait, you did a deep dive, obviously, into your statistics. So what was your best category?
Penalty kills.
Okay. And what was that, top 10?
Goals against. Yeah, penalty kills was in. Actually, when I looked at it, I think it was in top 5.
Top 5.
Just like anything.
Top 5. Kudos.
Yeah.
I think like still even without Belfort, I've been decently up there with like anything like defense and goalie related, like decent, like not as good as when Belfort was around, but like I think you guys know, like I mean I didn't make a big fuss about it, but like I'm 7 seasons in. This is the first season I've had a player with 100 points in a season.
Yeah, but you play a different style, man. You share the puck. You're not fucking you're not a high goal scorer because you play such better defense. You keep the goal scoring of your opponent down, which makes it so you have to score less. That's just the difference of your style. That's the way I see it. Anyway.
Maybe either that or I'm incompetent.
No, it's not that at all.
You can have your read of it.
It's not that at all.
For me, the statistic that I think separates is goals against. Like, that's, to me, look at Sean, look at Buss, look at Segathon, look at Caden this year. I mean, yourself, LHX. These are the top teams don't let up a lot of goals.
Yeah, agreed. They play their manual goaltending is very good, and their defense is very good.
Structured defense.
I agree. I completely agree.
Like, I think one of the things that Nips does really good is he gets the puck down ice quickly, right? And structured teams, that's why probably Nips has never won.
It's a big fucking win.
Structured teams, like LHX, for example, they had people back.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I'm pinching defenders.
But I mean, on that note, like I wouldn't mind getting your guys' thoughts on like what you think. So. I kind of feel like one of the important stats is that attack zone one. You know how it kind of gives you that the amount of time.
I love looking at the attack zone stat. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
So like, do you think it's a significant?
I do.
Indicator?
I think if you're controlling the puck, it should be significant. That means you're controlling the puck.
That's true.
So
I feel like if I'm getting,
I get that vibe as well because like I mean so I've noticed that like the teams I tend not to be able to kind of capture attacks that way. Again, like people like Sean and Ticklepuss, like and I mean their attack zone isn't high. Sean and Ticklepuss,
it's higher.
It's not high.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know why it's not high?
It's very high.
Oh, it's very high?
Yeah,
It's very high.
Yeah, exactly.
Very high.
Exactly. Okay.
Because they have the puck.
Yeah.
And that's why you can feel it. You can feel it when you're playing with them, man.
Yep.
Like you're on your heels.
Yeah.
You know, like if you pull out a win, it's like
Yes.
you clung on for dear life.
Puss's
and,
team
like,
is a bunch of
managed
tanks.
to, like somehow scrape by.
Puss's team is a bunch of tanks. Sean is finesse more than anything for me. Puss is a bunch of tanks. I don't even understand it.
Yeah.
Look, so hold on. Let's
Yeah,
just.
so as far as stats go, I would say like that's one of the main ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. My second point on that. What do you consider the impressive individual player stats? What numbers, when you're looking at the sheets, what numbers make you go, wow? Over 100 goals for a player, over 100 points for a player, a team with 200 point getters, a team with 300 point getters, shutouts. What is it that's making you actually, when you're looking at the sheets, because I know you're like us, we look at the sheets. What's something that makes you go, ooh, wow?
I think you kind of hit on some of them. I do think like when I see like the high number of shutouts or the low goals against, that one I do pay attention to. Like again, like one of the areas that Sean dominates in, Caden and I think like Caden and Salvo kind of made a mark of like you could just look at their stats and you kind of know what you're in for when you're going to play them, right? Like. It's representative that the league has collectively had a hard time scoring against those folks. So I think that's significant and that's something noteworthy. The other one that was impressive, like I remember like a number that one year when I was able to kind of like run the the multiple lines. I think it was like somebody pointed out that the team I was using that season, like somehow I ended up with like 8 guys with like over 25 or 30 points or something that season. That one, I thought it was cool when somebody pointed it out. But then I think this season, was it Nips that ended up with like 3 guys over 130 points or something like that?
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let me get to this then. So I have 12 points here. I gave Ed a little rundown, but I'm going to let you and him try to answer these, okay? So all these stats, I have 12 points.
I think either you or Nips put that on my radar this past week, and like so that's the kind of stat when I see that I'm like, oh
yeah,
shit,
that makes you go wow. That pops.
First of all, 130 points. I've never had one player with 130 points, right? And so like you know, like that's a threshold in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then imagine losing in the playoffs. Like damn, all that wasted goal scoring. Holy fuck. But anyway, so here, look. So I want to go through these stats with this segment. All these stats that I'm going to give you, these 12 points, are based on franchises currently in the league. Even if franchises have moved, we're only going with the most current location, okay? That's what these stats are for. So there have been 40 players have had 100-point seasons since 1995. 40, okay? There were only 2 100-point players in season 1, okay, in 1995. Do you think you can name them? The 2 players in 1995 that had 100 points.
I got it.
Sandstrom?
Sandstrom?
Was Klima up there?
Klima. Yep.
Klima's 1.
And was Brett Hall?
Was it Hull? But I think I got this one too.
Who is it?
Should I go?
Yeah.
Let's let it guest. Give one more chance.
Go ahead, get one more chance.
Like Klima, because I remember season 1. I remember Brett Hall had a shit ton of goals, and I remember like I knew King.
Stop saying Brett Hall.
Like, okay, I won't say it again. Yeah, no, I can't remember who else lit it up that season.
Of course you can't. Fuck you.
Oh, I know who it is.
Who?
Eisenman.
No.
No?
It's Sakic, you motherfuckers. It's Sakic.
Oh,
Guys, you guys are motherfucking assholes. I'm sitting right here. I'm literally sitting right here. Anyway.
He's got the shirt on.
Yeah, fucking A, man. Literally. Fucking, it's his fucking shirt. You disrespectful motherfuckers. Okay.
where is he now, Kleiner? Where is he now?
He's on Richfield. He only gets like 70 points a season. I would actually acquire him back if I could. I made a mistake. I'll admit this.
Are you gonna get a Richfield T-shirt too now? Or?
No, let me admit a mistake. I fucked up. So I should have kept Sakic and traded Eiserman. That's what I should have done. I fucked up.
Wow.
So I admit that. So let me go on to my third point here. One team has had a 100-point player every season since 1995. Do either of you know who that is? One team every season since 1995.
I mean, if there was only 2 in '95, it's got to be you, Kleiner. It's got to be.
Beware, my friend.
It's Kleiner.
Shit wins are coming.
That's right. Good call. Good call. So that's Sunnyvale. So there's also a team that since 1997, when they came into the league, has had a 100-point player every season.
And they're still in the league.
They're still in the league,
so that's
yes.
not
And
shocking.
every season they've had a 100-point player since
So that was the
1997.
third season they came in. Third season.
Oh, was that Grail?
Nope.
Did he come in season 3 or is he
Providence.
in season 2?
Providence.
There we go.
Correct. Providence. Very
Providence.
good. Bingo.
Okay.
He got it. How about this one? This team leads the league in 100-point seasons by a player. They have 9. Since 1995, they've had 9 players have 100-point seasons.
Including this season?
Yes.
Since what season?
Since 1995.
9 different players or just 9 players total? 9
players total.
9.
Yeah.
Would it be? Would it be Troy Hill again,
No.
or would it be Sunnyvale? Still.
It would be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has 9 players. In second place, you did say Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale had 8. So
Nips has had 9. Nips has had 9 guys.
yeah, listen. So you already said this. Pittsburgh is the only current franchise to ever have 300-point players in the same season. Okay, there's been 2 others, but they're defunct. The Anaheim team and the Helsinki team both had 300-point players on their team.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing, dude.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I give Pitt major
hardcore.
kudos. That's Boffo offensive output, but it also says you ain't one shit, bitch. You ain't one shit.
Well, that depends. Can you go fuck yourself?
Sorry, it is what it is.
Yo, that goes to your point about like what's the value of these stats, man? Like, you know, the kind of vanity stats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Well, it just shows if you don't have balls in the playoffs, you're not beating the good teams, then it doesn't matter, right?
No.
There's such a thing as empty stats. There's such a thing as paper champions, right? There's such a thing. We all know this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what he's been all along. Maybe that's what he's been all. Maybe that's what he's born to be.
But also,
A
Or,
paper
you know,
champion.
and like how would Vic say it? Come score all those points against me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
also for Nips, it's weight of the room shit.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Stomach hurting.
Yeah. He gets in his head. He gets in his head.
Yeah, weight to the room.
Oh, let me go to point number 7 now. I think we're rolling. I think this is some interesting shit. You think this is interesting shit? I think this is interesting shit.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
As nerdy as it is, we're fucking breaking down our league. But anyway, so there's been 3 players that lead the league with 5 100-point seasons. Can you name these 3 players?
With 100-point seasons, like individual players.
Yep. Like actual video, the guy in the video game. The player in the game.
500-point seasons.
They've each had 500-point seasons.
McGillney.
Solani? No.
I'll give you each another try.
3?
There's 3. You didn't even get one of them. You haven't gotten one.
Modano.
There's one. So there's 2 more.
Naslund?
No.
Five seasons with 100 points. So Modano's 1.
Madonna's 1.
Who else has lit it up?
Sakic?
Who else has
There's
lit it
number
up?
2.
Like,
Sakic's number 2.
Redbridge had
One
that
more?
crazy season.
There's one
Sakic?
more.
Wow.
Lindros? No.
No.
He's close though.
Fuck off. No, he's not. No.
Hard no.
I'm just trying to think about who's had a run with the high scoring.
It's a good one. It's a good one. You'll know it, right? When I say, you're gonna punch yourself in the face. I have to piss.
Probably.
Do you want me to say it?
Say it.
Lemieux.
Oh, okay.
Lemieux,
Shit.
Richfield. That makes sense. Richfield puts up a lot of points.
Gagne. Took a listen at Gagne. This player has 2 seasons over 150 goals.
I know that one.
2
Modano.
seasons over 150 goals.
He got it. Modano.
Modano.
Yeah, he got it. All right, goalies. There's
Wow.
there's
2 seasons,
3
eh?
goalies.
Which dude?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say which seasons. I remember that one season Modano went crazy, but what was the second one? Was it
Last
last
year.
season? Or
Oh, it was.
Right.
I think it was last year.
Last
I think it was
season.
last
You have
year.
that, or-
Do me a favor, talk to him. I'm gonna go take a quick
Okay.
drink on this real quick. Drink it. Talk about that shit.
Yeah. Mike's running to the bathroom, but yeah. Yeah, Modano
Well, Wolfie, we can take this opportunity. We can take this opportunity to talk about Bullard if you want to, man, because that guy's a tank, like for real.
Dude, he's ridiculous. It's like every time I feed the guy the puck, you know you're.
But
Listen.
did you know that, or did you know that, or did you
No.
just stumble across it? Like,
I've
did you
always-
just like get him
uh,
into the lineup, and then it was just like,
No, I was a fan of his, but the interesting thing about Bullard, more than any other player I've played with in the queue, he's like physical. So
yeah,
when he goes to hit someone, he like knocks them down. So
yeah, I
don't
know, and he also doesn't get knocked down. Like, it was
Yeah.
actually really fucking annoying playing the other day, man. It was like, I mean, I don't know if you know, like, I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I didn't give up. I didn't give up many goals this season in the queue, and like you put up 4, you put up 4, you put up 5. Like
Yeah.
like Bullard's a fucking menace, man.
He's fun to play with, man. I'll tell you that. He's a lot of fun to play with.
It's so strange. It's so strange.
Yeah, but
The weird part again, like the numbers thing. So like I got Peterson right, as my center in the queue. His numbers look great, but like the weird thing is, man. So his numbers, like he's the same thing. Like I put him at center because he's got 5 shot accuracy, but he doesn't plug them home. I think there's like some sort of like combination of stats together that end up doing something, man.
no, the guy on your
Sorry, Kleiner, we
team.
were talking about we used this opportunity to talk about Bullard while you were gone. Sorry.
The last thing I'll say about your team that was frustrating is for Durko. He's the player.
Fedorko?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Bernie
Fedorko's
Fedorko
nice.
for?
Fedorko's been nice.
On who? On whose
On
team?
His Q team.
Oh,
On
sorry.
Easter Island.
I guess I don't pay attention when I play when who the players are. But I know who Bernie Fedorko is. I'm just not paying attention, I guess.
All right, so back to this.
Yeah, let me go back to these goalies, okay? So there's 3 goalies.
go
All
for
right.
it.
So the record for shutouts in a W season is 20. Okay, and there's 3 goaltenders that have had it. Can you name the 3? I know this isn't easy. Can you name the 3?
Yeah. Well, no, but one of them is probably fucking Sean Burke.
No.
I think it's Tebow.
No.
No?
Tebow has 19. He had 19 this year, and he didn't break it because he didn't shut me out.
Who's so who's Ellis's goal?
Did Vic do 20 with Hasek?
Bingo. Bingo. 1997. Hasek. That's Vic.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
good.
That
Who's
was when Vic did that run.
Ellis
Did
is
Poopa do
goalie.
21 years?
Poopa.
Who'd you say?
Poopa?
No.
Poopa?
Nope.
All right.
Who's Ellis's goal?
I don't think I hit 20 with Belfour. Did I
No.
hit 20 with Belfour? I didn't
No.
hit 20 with Belfour.
Nope.
Patrick
Patrick Waugh in 2001.
All right.
Yep. Patrick Waugh. So there's one more.
So this season, why did 20?
In 2001. That's yeah. Waugh did 20 this year.
Wow. Props to Taipei. The third one. Who else lit it up on the shutout?
No, Sean. Sean, you're wrong.
I remember-
No, Sean.
I knew Hasek. I knew Hasek had done it. I can't.
All
think
right.
of anybody
Last
else
one.
that
This is a
would-
tough one. This is really
Oh,
tough.
oh.
Jamie Storr.
Wow. For who? Segathon?
Yeah. Right. That's Segathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it?
I think so. Right, guys.
Yeah.
Jamie Storr was Segathon. It wasn't Puss, right?
No.
Segathon. It's got to be.
Unless it's
Look up Jamie Storr.
Is it
See where he was
Caden?
at.
Caden.
Yeah.
In 2000.
Let me
So
check it out.
that's season 6. Rome.
Take a look.
Sean Bay's saying Rome.
It was Rome.
Rome.
Shit.
Wow. Props to Salvo. That's fucking. That's
Wow.
that's impressive, man.
Yeah, and I had that. Wah and Tebow could have broke the record this year, but they didn't. At least I don't think Wah did. Check Wah. See if Taipei broke that record. I don't think he did in his last few games.
He shut me up twice last week, so
Oh,
who knows, man. It's possible.
All right. What's next there?
so Burke's Burke's 1997 was an amazing season. He had the greatest goals against average in the W. It was a 1.27. So that's unbelievable. And then in this goalie in 2000 had the greatest save percentage in the history of the W at .913
That's
in the year
crazy.
2000.
And you're asking us
Who it
that
is.
2000.
I'm assuming that's Caden's goalie. Can't remember his name. Am I wrong?
It's not Caden Gold. No. Nope.
Darren Pupa.
Poopa.
There we go.
Poopa. It's Poopa.
Oopa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huge.
So I will say this, like, I think the stats you can get some things out of. You can see who your offensive threats are. Like if you're trying to put like a defensive game plan together and you want to go look at the team page and see who's doing all the scoring, I guess you can do something that way because obviously you can see that. But if you're looking at a team like Pittsburgh who's got 3 guys that are scoring over 100 points, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. You just got to go out there and play. But if I'm playing a team like Inglewood, whose one guy's got 40 goals and everybody else has got 5, then I know obviously what's coming, right? So sometimes it can tell you.
Yeah.
I think the shutouts are a big sign. If I see Caden's goals against average is below 1.5, obviously I know I'm in trouble, right? So I think anything goals against average below a 2, you're playing somebody that's really good at manual goaltending.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Couple-
Stats
Yeah, no,
wise.
absolutely, yeah,
Couple
absolutely.
more
I think
questions.
the only combination in this league that I've seen have crazy goaltending stats by the end of the year, who wasn't on top of their manual, was that year Vic did the crazy run with
Yeah, Vic let Hasek play.
because
He let Hasek
yeah,
play.
and that's an enigma. Like I don't that one stands out because his style is not based around manual, but that season the way
That's why this guy
combos
acquired
that he had-
Waugh. This guy went out and acquired Waugh because of that.
Yeah.
And then he traded him the next
but,
year.
But it was a combination of things. It was the way he played. It was the way he used Kovalev. Like
He had
Kovalev
Matthew
was, like,
Schneider
up and
too.
down,
He had Matthew
up
Schneider
and down
too.
everywhere. He had Schneider, and
But listen, the other
and then
thing
yeah,
about-
he was able to just he had Hasek coasting on auto
Dude,
goaling.
Joe's a great
Crushing
player, man.
everybody.
I have nothing but
Yeah.
good things to say about Joe Tronzo's hockey
Listen.
game and him.
But Hasek, that
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
season, his rating was like 102.
Yeah.
So when I got Raw
Wow.
at 94, it was like, he's a nice goalie, but he wasn't Hasek at 102. Hasek would
Yeah.
do, like,
Yeah.
the auto Hasek, you would see him, like, stretch out and shit.
Mhm.
And you're like, fuck, he just couldn't score. Yeah. So, a couple more questions.
I mean
here.
that's why like even the next season when Autobahn had him, that was like that was one of the seasons Autobahn knocked me out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just could not do shit on that 102 rated
That's
102
true.
rated
That's
Hasek,
it.
you know. I think I won two games in that series, and they were like, well, a 1-0 win and a 2-1 win. You
Yeah.
know. Anyway, we just couldn't get shit going.
Big time difference maker when your goalie's over 100.
Yes. Yes.
I
So,
think so. I think we've seen that that twice. We've seen that with Hasek and Brodeur. I think Brodeur got over 100 on North Bay. I think.
Yes. Yeah. He's over 100.
so I wanted to ask you a question about, obviously Sean Bell has won 5 in a row. So we were actually wondering, like, what are your thoughts on, let's just specifically to the top 3 players behind Sean. We'll say Nate, we'll say Nips, and Puss, just to throw them in there. What do they have to do?
Okay.
What do they have to do? Sagathon will say, possibly too. But what do they have to do to get over the hump and beat Sean?
That's it. So like I guess like one of the things there, like I still feel like the most impressive series that like so what we like Sean's been down 3-1 3 times in a series.
The Sagathon
Once
to
against
Nips.
Nips, once against Segathon, and once against Tickinus.
Yeah, it
The
doesn't matter.
Tickinus one was the one that was most impressive because I remember watching that series and Thickness was dominating,
Yeah.
and then Sean made adjustments, right? So honestly, like I really don't know. I think it's just like frequency of playing. I think is a big part of it. I mean, I guess like the other thing is I don't know. Like from what you mentioned, I mean, you talk about Nips and like his tendency to crumble. Like I mean, I think the one time when he
Can you repeat that? Repeat that.
Can you record that?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
his
I just
tendency-
look. Mark, I just figured out how to cut clips out of our old videos. I'm taking that one, just so you know.
his tendency to crumble. But also, I remember that series. Like, now I'm just like I'm having memories where like I think like once he was up 3-1, he started cracking open the.
Dude, I thought it was over.
Bushes, right?
You know what? You know what the image in my head is? Like I'm picturing after game. I think he was up three games to one. Was he up 3 games to 1?
He was, yeah.
And it was. I think it was around Christmas time, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm picturing like in my head. I pictured after he was up 3 games to 1 and Sean wanted that break, right? That Nips took his bush lights or whatever they are. He like snapped them all open and he's spraying them all over himself, like celebrating. And then all of a sudden he realized he had to keep fucking playing. And then he got his ass kicked. It was over. Like I feel like as soon as they sat back down and Sean refocused in, it was over.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like it's tricky, right? So I mean, I think like one of the things that Sean's also done well is like he builds a consistently good roster, right? So I think that in and of itself makes it challenging for Segasan, because I mean obviously Segasan's great, but like past Fedorov, the depth on the team is questionable. Plus this year, like that team composition, like if he stays like distraction free and like is able to run it, like I mean I think that's a good possibility, but
No.
I mean like just like continuing to play, like I really think that's the biggest thing, because like I mean I think one of the like aside from Sean being good, I just think one of the killer aspects of his game is his ability to adjust as well, right? Like I mean that's why that Tickiness series really stands out in my head. Like that like that is singularly probably like the most impressive thing that I've seen Sean do in the current. I mean, like obviously like 5 fucking championships is like speaks impressively on his own, but like from
Blah blah blah. Let's talk about Sean.
That one was
Blah,
Well,
blah,
it depends. Can you go fuck yourself?
but Mark, so, but tell us what they need to do. So you're saying the puss has to stay focused.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Like, so, like, show up with the solid roster, getting into the game, and I think like be prepared to be making adjustments. Like, I mean, know that if you're winning games 1 and 2, whatever you did to win games 1 and 2 is not going to be the thing that you're going to be able to do to close it out.
I think that's a great point.
Like Puss had success against Sean in the Q that one season, right?
I just don't know how Puss Nips isn't as good as Puss, but how Puss can duplicate what he's done the last 2 seasons, not win a championship again, and just be like, I don't know how you don't blow your fucking brain out. You know what I mean? Like you've basically had like some of the outside of what Sean and Colin have done, you've put up phenomenal fucking numbers, and yet you shit the fucking bed, and all those numbers go to waste. I hate to say it, like I love the guy, I think he's a great fucking guy, but he just like it's got I'm talking about Puss. Like you put up these huge numbers, and it's just like how do you let them go to waste? How do you let them go to waste? Like you have to win.
Who knocked him out last year?
Sean
knocked him out. Sean always knocks him out.
Well, this is the first year they're not in the same conference.
Yo, 330 goals.
I know.
Yeah.
So where do they go in the playoffs?
Fucking crazy.
Hold on a second. Again, Puss, he's great. I got nothing. I'm not criticizing. I'm saying against Sean. Like just like I say, I always have criticized Blair against Nick. Blair puts himself in a shitty position when he plays Nick all the time. And I feel the same way with Puss. Like, Puss just has something mentally with when he plays Sean. And I think Nip's actually the same thing. But I think Nips, I think Nips is the more mentally weak of the two. I think if Puss wasn't traveling for vacation what was that, season 2? I think he would have won the championship that year. Right? If he wasn't getting his wiener bikini loaded up and packed and all that kind of shit, heading out to the islands, I think he might have won that championship. I'll give you that excuse there, Puss.
So Puss has one finals appearance.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he does. And again, like Puss did win that. Like he did win that 1Q championship.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to.
I think that was sweet.
Mark, you've won a Q championship too. I don't want to downplay that because the way I've started to look at the Q is you're playing against the guys who like to play all the time. So most of the time it's the better guys.
Yeah, tough competition.
In the league. It's always tough competition. I got no problem. You win a championship in the Q, it's a tough thing. And you and Puss have both taken championships from Sean, which is impressive as fuck.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. So listen, we're going to switch gears now and move to the teams that are struggling, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what do the bottom 5 franchises have to do to move up and just, be like real contenders? Right? Yoda, Dinkelberg, who else?
Hold on. Pat, are you serious asking that you don't know what the Q is? Yeah, Sean, we know Puss swept you. We know.
You know.
Seriously, Pat, North Bay, you don't know what the... Okay. Fuck off then. Jesus Christ. Why do you...
How would you like to suck my balls?
Like, come on, man. You're distracting me. I'm trying to give you my precious words. Anyway, let's move on. Go ahead.
No, just wondering.
Yeah, let's talk about these guys. Because I've always said my biggest reason that these lower teams, nothing against Dink, I love Dink, but these lower teams don't improve is because they don't play enough. To me, that's all it is. You play more. If Caledonia played more. I know that if Dink played more. We've seen Dink rip off games.
Yeah.
If Dink applied himself, if Caledonia applied himself, and I won't even say it against Minnesota Yoda, because I know I know those guys can play tough games. You have to play. You have to play. That's the only way you get better.
I think we see glimpses of Baytown coming along.
Yes. Jared plays. He's playing in the Q.
Yeah.
He's playing in the Q and he's playing in the W. It's all melded together.
I think Caledonia has showed.
Yeah, Baytown's going to be fine.
He kicked the shit out of Dan for 4 games.
As long as he keeps continuing playing in.
Yeah.
I've taken losses. I've taken losses to Jared. Yeah. So I think he's on trajectory. Before Dink left the first time, his matches against him were getting increasingly challenging. So I think and also he was playing a ton of exhibitions as well, right?
So do you agree?
Yeah,
with Mike?
I think honestly, man, I think that's the key. It's just playing. I know even for me, I think the most frequently I was playing was it just you end up getting results. My best seasons definitely came when I had the time to play.
Yes.
Most frequently. So
this is an interesting topic.
That's definitely the key, man.
So this is an interesting topic for me because only one person has won 5 seasons in a row, right? If it's just a matter of playing a lot, why hasn't someone else won? I feel like skill is part of it.
Skill is definitely part of it, but also mental. I think, dude, you play Sean, you automatically have the image that you're fucking going against David versus Goliath, no matter what. So if shit goes wrong, you get in your head.
I mean, I don't want to make excuses on behalf of 31 other people, but it is possible that those Waterloo guys have played thousands of more games than anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how frequently those guys say they used to play a lot. I mean, it's possible. Yeah. It's possible. Because here's the other thing too. The other funny thing I found about their style of play. They have the least gimmicks in their game.
Yes.
They don't do flips. They don't like roll it around the board. They don't do none of that shit. They just like smash you in the fucking face.
I completely agree.
It's like
I'm completely convinced I'm completely convinced that Colin and Sean were locked in a room for 4 fucking years and played fucking nothing but NHL their whole fucking college time, and that's all they did. Like 1,000 games a day.
So
And I can just picture them in the room just fucking sweating, controller in their hand, just beating the shit out of each other.
So you're saying no vag splitting?
No badge splitting. They were fucking splitting the Sega. That's what they were doing. And they fucking dominated. I give you credit, Sean and Colin. I wish I was as dedicated to non-vag splitting. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they split enough badge.
So back to the question. It's hours on the game.
Yes.
It's playing.
You have to play.
Yeah.
You have to play. Look, I think another sample is Pink. I think Jimmy Elephants would agree. If you play when he plays more, he's so much better than when he doesn't play.
That's true.
We've seen him knock off big time opponents, but when he's not playing, he's inconsistent and he doesn't compete. But when he's playing, he knocks off big time players. He can do it. Like we've seen it.
Yeah.
All right, these people are chomping for the playoff preview. So let's get through this and move on. But
no, get that last one. I want to answer that last one.
I'm good to go till 2 a.m, guys. So
Okay, no, it's fine. I want to ask you this next question. So, because, like we said, like, dude, of course, for me, the W is way up here. And I've been a Q member since the beginning. But the Q, to me, is just as fun. It's a little more focused. It's still, to me, the old style game. Wherever, it's not the souped up 2001 version. It's definitely slower. Okay? What do you, Mark, see as the future of the Q? Do you see it expanding, contracting? Do you see it lasting longer or as long as the W? What is the future of the Q?
So I mean, I guess like it was a pretty big jump in the expansion the last season. I think it probably kind of like stays at a plateau for a little bit because aside from the one team this past season, I think like everybody seems fairly committed, right? Like a lot of the pretty much all the new teams that came in, I think are there. I think the thing that's been cool about it is that the experimentation aspect, the fact that we got rid of penalties in that, and also we had that one season where we experimented with reducing the penalties, that just it would call the penalty but not actually send the guy to the box. I don't know if you guys remember that. Those have been cool. The pace of play has been nice. So I mean I think it sticks around. I think it ends up sticking around as long as the W sticks around. Just because there's it is kind of like a subset, of the W, right? Yeah. So I don't think it grows though. I don't think it grows. I think it ends up kind of being where it's at. But yeah, I don't see. I mean, again, I guess a lot of it has to do with how much bandwidth Magnus has, and I think it's super cool that you're getting support and appreciated that Caden and Salvo are kind of jumping in and helping out with some of those pieces. I know a lot of people have offered. So I think as long as the bandwidth is there, I think it keeps going, man. I don't see it tapering off as long as the interest is there, and it's definitely an engaged group of people pushing that through. Yeah. So yeah, I think it sticks. I mean, there is maybe a notch down in terms of the intensity that people take it, but we got the draft. There's people doing trades. Yeah. The seasons get played. The games are fucking great, man. Even your series yesterday, Kleiner, that was some pretty crazy shit too, right? So
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, no, I think.
Can I talk about that for a second? Because it's really strange. So I think I've talked about this in our chat that we have, and it's with my Q team where I was forcing my lineup to be Francis, Neely, and Stasny, and all through the season when I was putting them in and forcing them in, I wasn't winning games. But when I would put Graydon and Middleton on the wings outside of Francis, it changed it, and for some reason, I don't know if this is a more agile, I don't know what it was, but I did that in the game, in the series last night. Yes, after I was down 3-0, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to put Middleton and Graydon into their spots, and then we didn't lose again. So they're agile. There must be something that's like as soft as they are on the puck, they still are able to evade the checks, I guess, is what it is. I guess that's the agility, right?
Yeah.
It's just very strange to me that all I did was make one change.
I mean, you might be hitting on something. Like, all these things that, like, still perplex us about the game, those might be the things that Sean's already figured out.
Yes.
Because, like, I don't fucking understand this game fundamentally, right? Like,
yeah, there's a lot. I know there's a lot, but it's like
shit out there. Man.
I think Puss has talked about it too. Whereas having guys on your bench or having guys that you can shift around is huge. But I get stuck in that main thing where it's like I drafted Stasny, Neely, and Francis to play together, and whether their numbers are where they need to be or not, I was forcing them into the lineup because that's who I wanted to play with. I didn't want to play with Middleton and Graydon, but then when I played with them, I started winning games. So it's like it's very yeah. I know now I have Mario, but it's just strange.
Yeah, the season I had my deepest run in the W. In the middle of that season, I went through like a shitty spell, so I just started experimenting with a bunch of different lineup combinations because I was like I lost like a bunch of games, and then that was the one season where I basically ended up almost like with two different teams, like two different sets of forwards, and so I had like I was like Leclerc was by far the best player on the team, but I was benching him some games and like because he wasn't that fast, and I was opting for speed guys. And then based on how matchups were going, I was like flipping those lines. And then that was the season that I went to the conference finals. And so I mean, just like there's something about like different teams and how you match up and like what works against some people. I mean, even like the same thing happened this week against Sugar Valley for me. I was playing one lineup and he won. I used the second one and I dominated that game. So there's something about matchups and like you said, being able to kind of like have a different look out there because like I mean sometimes certain combinations just end up working out better than others, and I think like I don't know that level of the math yet.
Yeah.
I don't know why that works.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know, it's good to have the and again going back to this past season, I made the deal for Keith after GMDS was on with you guys, and you guys were talking about teams and their roster composition, and when you talked about Renfrew, GMDS was like one-dimensional, and it actually like I hadn't really stopped and looked at it because I started optimizing my team just based around speed, and I was just like, fuck, you know what? You're right. I have like 5 guys
Hold on.
basically identical.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Are you saying that listening to our podcast helped you improve your game?
I mean, if you call making a deal an improvement, like things have gone better since that deal. I'd say, yeah,
I mean, I have to understand. So you're saying that if
that's what he's saying.
You're saying that if you play NHL 95 and you listen to the Wolf and Klein podcast, you may get tips that will make you better.
Do you hear that, Magnus?
If I hadn't listened to that episode, I might still have that punk-ass Straka fucking doing nothing on my team, and Keith would still be in San Diego or somewhere else potentially.
We completely...
Yeah, man,
we completely agree, man. That's why we do this.
Kudos to you, though. That's why I paid my monthly subscription on time and never go past due. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so let's move to this next segment, another new segment. So it's going to be called Top Cookies. So what we want to have happen is Ed and I want you guys, when we have Game of the Week or you have a game that it doesn't have to be Game of the Week. If it's a big matchup and you guys stream it and I can clip highlights from it, we will pull 4 or 5 highlights from each game and talk about 2 games on our show. We'll break it down. So I just wanted to go through. So in this past week, I got to play both you guys. I played Renfrew and I played this guy, Highland.
Yes.
The Highland. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to go through. We'll start off with you, Renfrew. We'll talk about our games with you. And obviously, so do you have your Twitch pulled up? Because I want you to be able to see this. So I'm going to throw a clip on here. We're going to go through a clip. Okay? I'm going to throw a clip on here, and this is how the scoring opened in our series, all right?
Oh, I remember this.
All right, so So what's your feeling on that? What was your thought when that happened?
My thought was, how could Eddie do this to me? He was
Yeah.
my boy. He was my number one. He was my son. My number one guy. And yeah, man, like, you know, I still needed wins, and that was a really shitty way to start our fucking series. Because also, I wanted revenge, man. You knocked me out of the playoffs last year, so.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it started that way. Well, look, I think I got up 2-0 that game, and then here's our next highlight. So let's watch this one. I mean, see that? I mean, holy fuck. I mean,
That's his shot.
what are you supposed to do when Conroy comes across
Well,
your face like that? What are you gonna do there?
This is one of the staples of LHX.
Right? I
This
mean, that's a great shot. That's a great shot.
Great shot.
Thanks, man. That's when the engine started running.
Yeah,
That
it started to change.
This was a good game, man.
So then we got to the third period, and I'm going to show you the goalie pool. We'll analyze this when I'm done, but I want to go through this goalie pool. So people don't know what happened here, so he pulls the goalie, and then let's watch what happens. Wow.
Kept it clean. Pulled the goalie before center ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Look, and I can complain all I want because I'm a little bitch. But let's watch it one more time. Watch my guy when you pause it. Boom. Do you see where my guy's at? Watch when you come back. See? It doesn't matter much. I like to bitch, but I feel like almost dude, you did it perfect. I'm not complaining about anything you did. I'm just saying, like, it's almost like it's impossible for me to grab the player at that instant, right? Almost impossible, right? Because you know you're pulling the goalie, and I'm thinking I'm clicking to the defenseman. I'm not saying anything. It was a perfect play. You did great, but I'm going to be honest with you. I never think
that flat shot. If I didn't make that deal, I didn't have a player on my team that could have made that shot.
It was perfect. It was perfect. The finish was great.
Could not have scored
Yeah, it was great, dude. So that carried us into overtime. So let's watch the game winner. All right, Jack. Nothing I could do, man. That was a great comeback. You were down 2-0, and you came all the way back, man. It was a great win, right? So I was happy to steal a point out of that, but I know in the desperation zone I was in, we always play tough against each other. Always.
That was a game.
So then game 2, there was only one real highlight from game 2. It was a 1-0 shutout. So let's watch the goal score from that game.
You know, it's funny, man. After that game 1, I felt like I had some good momentum because it took me a while to score on you.
Yeah. I couldn't believe Verada was the one to score it on you, man. So Verada, I put him in at the end of the season, and he actually has played pretty well for me. But now I've traded him away, so it doesn't matter. But
You traded him away?
You gotten Verada off of Hamilton, right?
yeah, I got him off of Hamilton, which I thought was a steal.
Wait, did you trade Verada?
I used him as bait for Tanguay.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in the Tanguay trade. So as you see how that little segment went right there, I think this is something we want to build in. I want to also do my game against.
Segment, man. This is a great segment. It's cool to review some games.
So now we're gonna go into the Highland series. So when Ed and I play, it's always Botho. Everybody wants us to play each other. Everybody wants to watch. So let's watch how this series, the first goal of this series, how it started off.
Oh,
I mean, it's a cross crease.
cross crease.
It's a simple cross crease, right?
Couldn't corral the puck.
Simple cross crease with Daze just using his force. Your check missed, right?
He was a monster. Daze.
Basically, that's all you're saying, right?
I will say something about that first goal though. Like those, like I don't call that a conventional cross crease because at least like when I play, and maybe it's because I haven't done as many cross creases. If you notice when he actually takes the shot, like he hasn't even crossed the crease, man. It's like one of those ones where it's just kind of like he's reaching around the goal. I don't know if you have that one lined up to play it again.
Yeah, I just played it again.
Yeah.
Like I like maybe that's the reason why I'm not like super effective with it. Like you see where he shot that?
Yes.
Like, there's
Yes.
a whole bunch of like daylights.
Yeah.
I don't think I make that shot as early as what you did on that piece.
Okay.
In general, but
It's like a disease at this point. I don't even know when I hit the button. I just hit it. So let's go. So we're still in Highland now. I'm up. Sunnyvale's up 1-0. Again, these are two huge games too we're playing because Highland Highland needs these games.
Yeah, I need 1 point at least.
Yeah, he needed one. He needed to get something out of this. So this is game 1. So let's see where we're at now. I mean, that's just a muscle goal.
Yeah.
It's just a muscle goal, right?
Yeah, Desjardins tried to hit him. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you're not pushing him off the puck.
No,
Daze's a beast, man.
I probably have to activate manual.
Yes, to stop that.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way you stop that.
Yeah.
So then I'm up 2-0, right? So I'm up 2-0, and then so you at this point when I'm up 2-0, I know a third goal basically is gonna put him out of his misery. And there it is, right? I mean the hammer like down B.
Yeah.
I mean that's like castrating a man, right? It's like castrating a man.
That's how you knocked me out of the playoffs last season.
You and Autobahn. I did it to Autobahn last year too. I eliminated you both with down Bs. It's just crazy, man. Daze, that was Hammerlick, but some of these guys, man, they just have a knack for it. I don't. It's very strange. But so that was game 1. So I beat him up in game 1. So game 2.
That was game 1.
That was game 1.
3-0.
No, it was 3-1. Yeah, but your goal didn't matter. So
No highlights.
no, not for you. So let's go to game 2. Let's see what game 2 goal 1 was. All right, game 2 goal 1. Boom, another typical cross crease,
Yeah.
just Daze across the crease. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's you know me so well that it's just shocking that you don't know how to stop it,
I just have
right?
to take the goal.
Well, let's go. Okay, so let's look at the goal. Let's look at the second goal to that game. I mean, he just stuffs it in the net, right? Just stuffs it in the net. There's nothing even special about that. That's just bad defense. There was nobody in the zone to throw a check,
Man,
right?
the whole offense just runs through Daze now? Is that how it goes?
Against him, it's easy. But anyway, so here's his one highlight. Let's show him his one highlight.
85 points. This guy's going
Boom.
nuts over.
Boom. Look at that. Look at that. That was Gagne, right? Let's watch it one more time. The rookie sensation that isn't on his team anymore. Because if we don't know, we traded this guy. He's not on the team anymore.
Just out of curiosity, why aren't we watching the 11-0 game?
That was the week before this. So, the finish out that game versus Ed. You want to see how we finished out that game versus Ed? Here's how we finished it out. Boom. I don't even know how that went in.
That's bad goal.
Hat trick. So,
Alright.
that'll wrap up our cookie section. So for now on, what we're looking for, it doesn't need to be our games at all. What we're looking for is for any highlights that we can break down on this. I think that'll be a fun segment. If people want to let me know, and I'll even go into their Twitch and snip out the highlights that I want to show.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be cool to keep everybody involved in what we're trying to do.
Alright.
So let's go into what we're here for, really, at this point.
The playoff preview.
Let's start with the start with the shitty bill. Okay.
Shitty bill?
Get the shitty bill out of the way first.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna run to the fridge quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a beer too. So I wonder how many people are actually still listening to us out there.
Okay, here we go.
I hope they're enjoying it. Hey, Caden, you've done enough trying to force Dan to play, man. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing we can do. And at this point, it's just going to really piss me off if he gets in and I don't get in because I got my shit done and he's fucking holding us all back.
In defense of Dan, he's got to the 30th, but still.
I know he's got to the 30th, but why do you got to wait till the last fucking week of the
It's
season?
annoying. It's annoying. Alright. So we'll start off.
So let's start. Let's let Mark go. Why don't you get up?
All my homework.
Yeah,
homework.
that's what I love to see.
Check it.
Look, as we say, dude, we don't fuck around on this podcast. We're trying to take ourselves to the next level. So I try to hook our guests up so they can do some kind of homework and be prepared when they come on here, man. There's a reason we have you on here for the second time, Mark. It's because we love you like a brother and we're glad to have you on, man.
Absolutamente.
So why don't we go through the Prince of Wales? You can name off your shitty bill. Just name off the 8. Is it 8? Name off the 8 teams
Prince
that
of
you
Wales.
have going to be in the shitty bill of the Prince of Wales. If you want to do them in the, I don't know how you laid them out, if you did them bracket wise or if you just did 1 through 8, however you want to put them down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did like
so I
matchups.
mean, I dropped in some contingencies as well, but I did put down
me
who
too.
the most likely person to drop into that spot would be. So I'll go through. So Prince of Wales, I'll go through 16 to 9 for Shitty Bill. Okay. So 16 locked in is Dink. 15 is Maddie with Silicon. 14 is Tecmo. 13 I got Baytown. 12 I have most likely coming into that one as Sugar Valley, but also possibly Sonoma and Sumter could get there. 11 highest likelihood I got there is Sumter, but other possibilities are Sonoma, Sugar Valley, and then number 10 I got Sonoma most likely there. And then number 9 I have most likely Providence, but then Sunnyvale might end up 9. So that's the Shitty Bill bracket
Okay.
that I have for.
Yeah.
Why don't you give yours?
So I did mine a little different because I actually did the matchups.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me,
Yeah, so matchups. Yeah, I mean matchups. We can roll through those. I've got.
Go ahead. Give your matchups. Why don't you give your matchups?
Okay, so matchups: Providence versus Dink. And do you want me to say what I think's going to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Providence comes out on that one. Then we've got Sonoma versus Silicon. I got Sonoma coming out of that one. Then we have Sumter versus Tecmo. That one I have an upset. I think Tecmo might surprise Sumter.
Sadly, I thought Sumter was the upset.
mm,
And I've actually got Baytown with the upset as well.
Okay.
wow,
Over Sugar Valley, which I mean, again, that's no disrespect to Sugar Valley. Sugar Valley beat me this week, right? So I don't
So what-
disrespect what you.
Look, I just want to say,
Baytown is on the come up right now.
I think the Prince of Wales Shitty Bill bracket is up for grabs. To me, if a team
Agreed.
like Providence or Sunnyvale gets in there, they're going to be the lock favorite to win that. Yeah,
Yes.
Jer's.
one of them are.
Yes, I mean, yeah, Jer is hot, but honestly, if Providence or Sunnyvale are in there, they're going to be the team that's going to be the favorite to go through that bracket.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's go to the Clarence.
well, do you want to give ours?
So yeah, that
Let Ed give. Let
that
Ed
was
give
round
his.
one. All right, go for it.
So
Go for it.
Yeah, so for the Prince of Wales, and for some reason my matchups are a little different. I just looked at the playoff bracket. So
Sure.
if it's Sunny or Providence, they're going to win over Dink, right? Either one.
Yeah.
Sonoma over. So I have Sonoma against Juror.
Okay.
I don't know why that came up on my bracket to look that way.
Yeah. No, that's still a possibility. I think
Okay.
that's like the current
Gotcha.
positioning right now.
Then I
Yeah.
have Sugar over Techno John, just because Sugar's been coming
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
He's been coming on. He's got
Yeah,
some.
no.
He's got
Yeah,
some wins
yeah.
recently against LA
That's why I'm saying like that one to me was actually a tough call, like because I've taken losses. I can't remember whether it was in Q or W, but I've lost to both Sugar Valley and Jer recently. To me that's a tough one. I actually think that would be a great series.
And then I have
Wait.
Sumter.
That's the,
Fucking embarrassing!
dude, say that again. You lost to who? Sugar Valley and who?
Sure.
Jer?
Yeah,
Embarrassing!
yeah, but it might have been in Q.
Okay. All right.
And then Sumter over Maddie. Right? Silicon. So, and then, should I go on to the second?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. The second round, I have, again, Providence or Sunny over Sonoma. And Sumter over Sugar. And then I have Providence or Sunny over Sumter to get to the championship.
Okay.
Okay.
That's in the Prince of Wales.
Okay.
So yeah, next round on mine. Next round on mine, I have Providence over Baytown, and then I have Tecmo continuing the Cinderella run over Sonoma, and then I have Providence versus Tecmo, and I got Providence coming out on top in the Prince of Wales.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's also, I mean, so let me give you mine. I had Sunnyvale Dink, Sonoma Baytown, Sugar Valley Timmins, Sumter Silicone, and I would have Sunnyvale coming out of there. I don't even care about the matchups. I would just have Sunnyvale coming out of there. So let's go to the Clarence. Go ahead, give your Clarence.
Cool. Clarence. All right. So 16, Inglewood. 15, Orange County. 13 and 14 is kind of either Saguenay or Caledonia. 12, Minnesota Gophers. 11, Uganda. 10 is San Diego or North Bay, but probably San Diego. And then 9 is Highland or North Bay or San Diego.
What about Minnesota?
Apologies,
He said Minnesota.
Oh, he did say Minnesota.
probably. Minnesota had a 12.
Okay.
So then, yeah, matchups. I've got Wolf over Inglewood. I guess that's default anyway. I've got Minnesota over Saguenay. I got Uganda over Caledonia. I've got San Diego over Orange County. And then I've got Wolf over Minnesota. And I've got Uganda over San Diego. And then I have the finals in the Clarence being Wolf versus Uganda. And then that's a fucking high clash. And Uganda gets revenge on the Q knockout. So yeah, shitty finals. Uganda, Providence.
There you go.
I love it.
So my breakdown in the Clarence Campbell, if it's Worth or North Bay, has 9, most likely Wolf. They're going to clean up, of course, on Dum. Gophers take South G-Lock. Ugandan over Caledonia. And
Yep.
Mavs over Yoda. I got Wolf over Gophers in the second round. Ugandan over Mavs. And then in the CC.
We're identical, Wolf.
Yeah.
We're identical.
But of course I have Wolf over Ugandan
Winter is coming.
to get to the championship. The shitty champion. Assuming I'm in it.
All right. So I had North Bay, Inglewood, Ugandan, Saguenay, Minnesota, Caledonia, San Diego, Orange County, and my final I just had as Sunnyvale and Ugandan, so it was like right along the same thing. And then I had Ugandan winning the shitty bill, so I had JP winning the shitty bill. Hopefully it doesn't, but
So for the championship, I have, if I'm in it, I have Wolf over Providence or Sunny.
Easy, boy.
I'm not shocked by that at all.
That's the,
I'm not surprised.
I mean, come on.
Listen, that's. All right.
Just-
So now-
you know what, Wolf? Like, I hope I regret giving you your draft pick back. That would be poetry, man.
Hey, you got a heck of a player.
I know. I'm not complaining, man. I'm not complaining.
All right, playoff preview for the big boys.
Yeah. So why don't you start off with your Brule Prince of Wales?
All right. So we got number 8 seed, Sunnyvale or Providence, likely Sunnyvale. 7, Rome. 6, Alberta or Italy, likely Alberta. 5, Italy, Haas or Alberta, probably Italy. 4, Haas. 3, Renfrew or Italy, probably Renfrew. 2, Pitt, and number 1, Puss. So I've got Puss over Sunnyvale or Providence. Haas versus Italy. Fuck, I think that's going to be tight as hell. I know Italy got swept by Haas 4 games at the start of the season, but Vic is on a crazy run right now. So I think that goes the distance. I feel like it's a coin flip, but I think I got Italy coming out of that one. I do have Pitt over Rome, and then Alberta and Renfrew. Alberta took 3 out of 4 against me this season, but then I was able to kind of like get things going in the queue. So I don't know. I think I pulled that one out. So I got myself moving onto the next round there, but honestly, not a high degree of confidence. Then yeah, Puss versus Italy. I got Puss coming out of that one. Pitt versus Ren. I think Nips takes me out this time around. Playoffs one time. I got him in the queue. This would be the first time we play in the W. And then Puss over Nips in the.
We all know that. I mean, that's the easiest fucking bet in the world.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go through it. All right. So for me, a quick look at the bracket right now. It's the Shithawks versus Puss. That could change, but that's how it is right now. For me, it's probably the most lopsided first round series. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. This guy you struggle with the Puss mightily. If this happens, and although the Pittsburgh guys are known to choke, I don't think this happens in this first round.
Beware, my friend. Shit wings are coming.
So I have the Puss, if it's against Klein, in 4. But I do throw out a caveat. If it's against Providence, which if Providence, I don't know. It's still an outside chance it gets it. But if it's against Providence, it's going to go longer. Because, in my opinion, the Puss struggles against great manual goalies. So, just think back to the Caden series a few seasons ago, where Puss did magic to win that series. So, I could see Providence.
I think Puss has evolved his approach to heavy manual goalies.
No, I think he still wins.
I feel like that's one of the aspects of.
I think he still wins the series, but I don't think it's going to be a sweep against Providence.
Okay. Okay.
The 2 through 7 matchup is Pitt against Rome. I think Rome has had a nice season, but he's overmatched in so many facets of the game, except for maybe goalie play. But his only chance of beating Nippos is if he's like lights out with his goalie. So I think Pitt wins it in 5. The 3-6 matchup is Hoff versus Vic, and I agree. This is going to be a fantastic series.
Yes.
The thinking here is that Caden's emerged as the top manual goalie in the league, but on the flip side, Vic, he's on a tear, and he's probably
he's insane right now, man.
And he's one of the most creative offensive players, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely must-see TV, and like you, I think Vic takes it in 7. But it's going to be
I think that one's going 7, which is crazy because again, like Haas did take all 4 versus Vic this season, and like I mean that's the piece. I mean the only thing we know is like Vic's one of the only people that's made it to the finals in the league, right? Like that's.
I'll tell you what,
one.
Vic's addition of Kaminsky was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huge, because it gave him.
That's one of the spiciest matchups in the first round.
Yeah, I think people underestimate Joe. I think Italy's going to come out and knock some people out. So.
And then finally, in the first,
especially like the team is like relatively, compared to like other rosters, like the team. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not a great roster.
Sure.
He's just like what he's put together is like, especially the recent run, is crazy. It's crazy.
And then you versus Ellis. Both of these teams have had excellent seasons, solid and consistent. Both play exceptional defense, but the series is going to be tight, low scoring. But I think it's going to be LHX in 6. So in the second round, I had the Puss beating LHX in 7. It's going to go to distance. I do think that. But
we've met twice in the playoffs before, and I managed to pull them both out. And so I hope Puss remembers that. And he's going to have to face Keith. So I don't have me meeting Puss in my bracket, but yeah, there's baggage. Puss. Just remember that if you're listening, buddy, which I know you are.
so because of what I said, I think Vic
There's baggage.
is going to. So Vic plays Pittsburgh in the second round. And actually I have Vic taking out Nipples in a 7-game series. So it's going to be the Puss and Vic in the finals for the Prince of Wales, and the Puss takes him out.
Okay. I'll just give my
Well,
quick.
that's going to be another fun series too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my quick conference finals are I had Tegucigalpa versus Hoth. So I just saw those two matching up, and I just think that Caden's goaltending will get him. Caden's goalie sitting will get him through to a certain point, but then there's going to be where Dead Marsh and fucking those fucks expose the shit out of him. So
That's your conference final, Hoth and Puss.
my
Yeah, I can see
yeah
that.
Puss and Hoth. Yeah, I can get my you doing Clarence Campbell too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my Clarence Campbell, I have Mary Hill versus Taipei.
In the conference final.
Yeah, in the conference final.
So let's let LHX do your Clarence Campbell.
So Clarence, we got we got number 8 is likely Autobahn, 7 likely North Bay, 6 likely Hamilton, 5 and 4 is split between Richfield and Maryhill. 3 is Taipei, 2 Manhattan, number 1 is Thunder Bay. So I got Thunder Bay over Autobahn. So the other incredible matchup, and I think Puss might have mentioned this earlier in Blubber, Richfield versus Maryhill. That's going to be a fucking fun series, man.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, Richfield versus Maryhill. I have Richfield coming out on top on that one. I think that'd be a great fucking series, though. If it ends up, Min-Hattrick versus North Bay. I think that's going to be another really great series too. That one's always tough. It's always tough to call. I mean, it's so hard to like count out. Like I almost feel like Min-Hattrick versus Autobahn might have more problems just due to the familiarity piece. But I do think
There's that key word.
Min-Hattrick. Yeah, the familiarity piece. I do think Min-Hattrick takes out North Bay on that one. I think that would be a really great series to watch. And then, Taipei. I actually think Taipei Hamilton would be a good series too, but I think Taipei takes that one out. So then we got Taipei Min-Hattrick, and we got Thunder Bay versus Richfield. I think Thunder Bay wins, and I think Taipei wins. So I guess that's a rematch of the conference final last season, and Thunder Bay coming out.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Come on, man. Enough with this shit already.
So for me, obviously, things aren't finalized in the Clarence Campbell. We can think what's likely, but we still don't know. So currently, I'm going to give my predictions. I'm going to include myself.
Sean's down in the queue, 2 games to 1.
Is he?
Sean's down in the queue, 2-1.
So I'll give
Sega wins 3-2 game 1, 2-1 overtime game 2. Sean wins. So it's Sega wins game 3, 2-1 in overtime. Alright, so Sega is up on Sean in the queue, 2-1.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
So as I was saying, there's not clarity. It's not definitive yet. So I'm going to go through it, including myself right now. But it's not likely, right? But in the right now, it's 1 through 8. It's me versus Sean. Again, it's unlikely to hold, but I'm going to dissect this matchup.
I still think that would be a fun series, man.
Yeah, it's not a mystery. Sean's a huge favorite, right? He's won 5 straight championships. And this season, it's ridiculous. He's got 4 regulation losses. I mean, that's just insane. So, now, one of those regulation losses is to the Wolf. So,
Oh my.
we'll just,
Are you fucking kidding me?
we're just going to throw that
You
in there.
fucking kidding me?
Uh-oh, retard alert!
Thunder Bay has very little in terms of weaknesses, and the Wolf would need to play flawless goaltending if he's ever going to beat him.
Alright, can we move on because you're
Listen.
not going to beat him?
Hold on. So Thunder in 5. Okay,
In 5?
in 5. So
Have some goddamn faith!
in the event that North Bay catches Wolf, there's a predicted similar outcome. Right? Listen, North Bay's playing great hockey right now. He is. But I just don't see it against, the best thing North Bay can do is leapfrog the 8th spot, as is still a possibility.
He's bouncing
But,
you out.
but here's the thing.
Yeah.
If he leapfrogs Sean, he's got Segathon waiting for him.
Doesn't matter.
And number
You're
2.
in. That's all he cares about.
No, it matters, though.
It doesn't matter. You want to be in. That's all that matters. If you're not in the playoffs, that's all that matters. You don't want to miss the
Listen,
playoffs 4 years in a row.
either way,
Right? Right?
listen,
Right?
The point
Right?
being,
Right?
North Bay is in for some pain. Either way. That's the point.
North Bay's never missed the playoffs, right?
Yes, yes. Our 2 versus 7 are, again, as it's right now, are the 2 compadres from Minnesota,
Always.
Segathon and Autobahn. So, on the surface, this seems like a lopsided matchup, but we all know the familiarity piece. These guys know each other, right?
I got you, Patrick. I
Also,
know.
like Autobahn's been super hot.
Yes. He has until I kicked his ass.
He had to put together a good run to get in, and so he's been on fire lately.
Yeah.
I agree.
And also, that series, I know it was heartbreaking, but that was the commentary Kleiner was awesome, and that was, like, especially that final game. That game was nuts, man.
Wait, which
Yeah.
one? And what?
Which game?
The Autobahn North Bay.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what I was
That
about
was
to
like,
Yeah.
that was
awesome.
that was hot. That was hot.
What I was about to say was Otto could do it, but will he? So, watching Segathon play last night against North Bay, I feel like Segathon's locked in. That's my opinion. So, I think Segathon...
What happened? They played last night? What happened in those games?
Segathon swept, but North Bay
Got a point.
got 1 point in overtime.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
Segathon
tough,
looked,
man.
he looked good, in my opinion. So, I think Segathon beats Autobahn in 6. The 3 and 6 matchup is Nathan versus Hamilton Mustangs. This seems to be a difficult.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's a
That'd be
difficult
fun.
matchup for the Mustangs. The question is, are they just happy to be here? Right?
Hamilton?
Hamilton.
Derek, yes. From what I saw, from what I've seen from him in the last couple of days, yes.
It might be the case. The Mustangs had a great season, but beating one of last year's Final Four in the first round is going to be a tough feat.
Yes, I agree.
Nathan plays a deliberate style that can frustrate the opposition.
Who's your conference finals?
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Listen, so I see
How would
Nathan.
you like to suck my balls?
So Typhoon's in 6. So Mustangs will win a couple games, I think.
Okay, 2. So you're saying 2.
And then finally, the matchup that we all think is going to be great is Red vs. Oracle.
Yes.
It's not etched in stone, but if that matchup happens, it's going to be great. It's going to be, unlike Sutton, I don't think that Red is just happy to be here.
No.
I think Red is ready to bludgeon. Right? So I think Red is going to win in 7.
Okay.
So the second round, it's going to be the newcomer Red versus Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay advances in 5.
Wow.
Nathan
Wow.
versus Segathon.
Hard no.
I think that's a rematch. Nathan and Segathon.
Yes, it is.
But again, I shouldn't say but. Again, Segathon is locked in and he wins it again. Here's where things change for me. I think Segathon is ready to take Thunder Bay out.
Hard no.
I see Segathon making it to his first finals,
Easy boy.
There's no way.
and that's it.
I don't see that at all.
That's my prediction.
So your finals is Puss versus Segathon?
Yeah,
It is.
that's
It is.
delusional.
It
That's
is.
delusional.
It is. Mike?
No, I don't
Listen.
see that happening at all.
What, am I going to say the obvious? I'm
No,
thinking-
because mine's not the obvious. Mine's Mary Hill Taipei. That's my conference finals. It's
Okay.
Mary Hill
So
Taipei.
But who's your...
who do you have?
So
who
Thunder
do you
Bay
have
Highland,
beating
Taipei,
Thunder
Mary
Bay?
Hill, right?
Yeah.
What did I just say? Taipei, Mary Hill,
Yeah,
right? Is my conference final?
okay.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
So you have Red beating Thunder Bay.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't know that.
Wow.
I have it. I have it.
Wow.
All right, so let's get to finals predictions.
How would you like to suck my balls?
I'm for it. I'm for it. Let's go.
Get it, LHX. What's yours?
I think last time I did a prediction, like I went against Thunder Bay, but I've decided I'm not going against Thunder Bay until they ever lose. So I've got Thunder Bay over Puss.
Okay. I have Segathon winning his first championship. As I said earlier, Puss struggles against exceptional manual goalies. And Segathon's style is just so unique. It's just a different style than I play, for sure. So,
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree, man. You're talking about like people that swept me all. Like Segathon swept me this season, Puss swept me this season.
and I split with both of those guys, but Segathon's got the kind of game. Listen, Puss can definitely win the whole thing. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he can't. But
Yeah.
I'm not disrespecting the Puss, but I just think Segathon is...
Have some goddamn faith.
He's had a great season,
So
as always.
I'm interested. I'm interested. So like Red just knocked out Puss in the Q playoffs.
Yeah.
Kleiner, what do you see happening between Red and Puss? the final.
So, well, my championship is Taiguchi versus Taipei. So I have Taipei.
Oh, so you got Taipei. You got Taipei.
I've
over Red.
Taipei
I
beating
got
Mary
you.
Hill. Yeah, and I have Puss
Okay,
being the
okay.
championship. I look. I just look at it as like Puss's season has been so fucking incredible. Like it's probably top 3 seasons of all time in the W, and to not win the
Yeah.
championship is the
Yeah.
major payoff for this. Just makes you an utter failure.
Yeah.
So it's like he has to win
Yeah.
a championship.
But as you say that,
Yeah, these are like, I mean, coincidentally, like all the guys that you're mentioning here, like these people all swept me. Like this season, I got swept by Puss, Segathon, Wolf, and Taipei. Possibly one other person. I mean, like Taipei swept me, and I didn't score. I scored 0 goals. Like that I don't generally experience that type of thing. So like, I mean, kudos to that, man. These are all like incredible teams. So
I don't know, man. It's tough, man. It's tough because when I got to the conference finals last year, it's just like, is it possible for me to get past that point? And it's like, it's got to work out just right. Everything's got to be clicking for you just the right way. You got to get the right path. And if you're playing somebody like Sean or Puss, Nip sucks. But if you're playing either one of those two, your shit's got to be lined up perfectly, and you got to play. Because even if you're up 3-1 on somebody like Sean or Puss, you know it's not over, right? We know there's a big chance. That they can come
absolutely,
back.
absolutely. I think we've all probably felt that, man. Like, I mean, I think like either been pushed to the brink or it was 1Q playoffs. The year after I won, I had Sean down 3-1 again. I'm like, oh, I got this guy under control. He stormed back and took me out, man. So
Sega's up 3-1.
Yeah.
Against Sean.
So Mark, I want to do a little flashback here. I have a clip, and I want you to watch this clip on your Twitch, all right? And I want you to we're gonna watch this clip, and we're gonna see what's said in this clip, and we're gonna evaluate what's discussed in this clip. So let's all just give a little listen here.
Let's go.
Darren, when will Wolf double down on winning championship?
Oh my gosh. I said it last time. Can I back off that statement today? I think I have to.
You're backing off statement?
I don't think I can.
You're 102
Wow. You alright? Check that was sure?
102 points at 6
I can get that to 101.
Okay, so now
you went down 1
you
point.
went down 1 point to 101.
Listen, I have 20 years left. But potentially 40 points. Potentially. But I can get 40.
No, you're gonna get 27.
So right now I'm at 74. I did the math. I need to go 15 and 5 to get the 101. 15 and 5 last time.
Now, you just give me a little bit of your thoughts on 15 and 5. And what the fuck happened?
What happened?
You tell us. I don't fucking know.
I mean, yo. I mean, let's dissect this, man. Like, what happened? What happened?
I think, well, I had to look at the schedule. I wonder. I mean, I definitely lost some games I shouldn't have. This guy, but even if I beat you, I'm at 93.
That's huge. You're in.
I'm in.
You're 93. You're in.
Yeah.
So basically, I cost you the playoffs. Right? Basically, right? We're saying the 4 points he didn't get against me.
I mean, I know I didn't cost him the playoffs because he swept.
He swept you?
On me,
okay. He swept you, and I swept him. So yeah.
Listen, this is a game of
but he swept me pre-Keith.
That's true.
Oh, pre-Keith. And that's what I said to you, because even before Christmas, I was like...
You're the only one, man.
I kept saying to you, I'm like, stop playing him. I'm like, it's not fair. I'm like, wait till he gets Keith. I said I wasn't playing you until you got Keith.
All right, how can I say this right now?
I respect it, Clyde. I respect it and I appreciate it, man.
Thinking back...
Because I made a commitment. For the pace of play people, even though Megs and I made that deal like 8 games into the season, I said I committed to playing 6 games a week until the trade deadline and made sure I was halfway through the season, and I sat Straka, and so I played those games and then I had Keith for exactly one half of the season. And yeah, I mean it's a better team after. So Connor, I appreciate.
You were honest. Man. You were honest as shit, man. You played. I was busting his balls of playing you before the trade deadline too, because I'm like, dude, if you're bragging about how good your team is, I'm like, come on, man.
The funny part is that Wolf and I even discussed, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna wait until after you got Keith, but then like he kept on.
And then he bitched out.
If it wasn't. Here's what's funny.
And he destroyed me. He fucking destroyed me.
Yeah, because you should have waited until you had Keith.
You know what's funny? if I wasn't such a spaz sometimes with playing this game, if I would have just waited, I could have, Silicon, Tex would have been gone. I would have played Tecmo instead. Would have got, because Silicon swept me.
Dude.
He
See,
swept me, that's 4 points.
and you
That's
know what the
4
funny
points.
thing is like, because you're on this thread, Mark, you know, about how he busts my balls about playing a schedule. And it's like it's not some formalized, written down schedule. It's just understanding time, distribution of my time, streaks, cold streaks, hot streaks, shit like that. Like, it's almost like a constant
Slump busters.
slump busters. It's almost like a constant computing. Now, look, I'm going to be honest. What happened in Sunnyvale this year was fucking unacceptable. But it's only 10 points off pace.
85
So,
points.
yeah, it's only 10 points off pace. For me, 10 points off pace, so that's 5 wins, right? So I'm hoping that Tanguay, for me, my scoring is noticeably dropping off. Like, when my first 4 or 5 years in this league, my scoring was top. And right now, like, my scoring, I still score a shit ton, but it's not where I want to be. And, like, and that's was my hardest thing, is why in the queue, why I was like, and I know Nips is fucking around saying I was like tanking and shit, but I acknowledged from the very beginning of this season in 1984 that my team was not good enough. Like, that I just didn't have anybody who really was a good shot. Like, it's just like there's nobody on my team. Like Francis, I think you guys watched it last night. Like, Francis would get a one-timer, and being a 2 in fucking accuracy, I mean, holy fuck. He gets a wide open one-timer, he's shooting it over the net. So it's like, when Puss gets on me, when Nips gets on me, it kind of makes me feel guilty a little bit, because even though I think everybody I played knows that I didn't throw the season, because I won a lot of games off of better players. So it's not like I ever was throwing. Yeah. Dude, I could have thrown my last series with Nips, but I won a game with Puss, but I won a game off of him. Like, I could have just thrown it.
The word "a lot" sticks out to me.
Yes, I won as much as I could. And like I said, I explained how I was trying so hard to force Francis at center, Stasny and Neely, but it wasn't working. And because I had no interest in playing with Middleton and Graydon. So it's like, but it ended up working out, right? So now if I get Mario,
If I get Mario.
I already have Mario.
You got him.
No, I have Mario. And by the way, 1-800-345-6666. You can place your purchase for the Mario jersey that I posted on Let's Blaze the other day. I know Puss hates Let's Blaze, but let me let you know, man. ChatGPT is fucking incredible, and wait till you guys all hear how much Mario Lemieux hates Pittsburgh. He's going to grow with us for the next 10 seasons and tell us all the things that he hates about Pittsburgh. It's going to be fun.
Well, I think we're here.
I think we're here, man. I think we're here.
Listen,
Mark, it was a great fucking time, man.
Awesome time. We've been going for over 2 hours. Believe it or not.
Excellent.
Fucking good time,
Excellent
bro.
Friday night.
This is an
Excellent
awesome
Friday night.
Talking.
This is good
talking,
times, man.
Talking W.
I appreciate it.
Talking playoffs. Talking shitty. Talking Q. Talking with the boys. This is fun. As always, this is the Wolf and Klein podcast, episode 6.
I don't know. You got it written down there. I don't even remember.
Season 2. We are out.
Later, boys.